at Mishawaka High School was different, not because of the fellow behind the desk, but because of an extraordinary staff to begin with. I've had a love affair for 63 years now with Mishawaka High School, and never changes. It's so special, and there's nothing that can compare. I reported for my very first job at the opening day of football season 1952. And I got promoted that day. I hadn't done anything yet, but I got promoted. Kind of a case of being in the right place at the right time. Yeah. Okay?
Try it out.
You don't mind? Ooh.
Hey, Bob, what do the memories of being in the Mishawaka High School principal's office mean to you?
Oh, it means a world of things. Just one little hint like this brings back a whole flood of memories. Had some rather strange early beginnings, but what a life it's been.
And Bob, who was your secretary?
Betty Gerard. She was my secretary. She goes clear back to Russell Meyer's days. And Betty kept me out of trouble all the time. She was a doll. And I think I had 3 secretaries, and I told you one of them could use a computer, so we used her whenever we could.
That's come a long way for all of us.
We installed our very first computer labs, and those were the forerunner of today's outstanding technology wing. It's really something. I need to say, though, that I finally got a diploma here at Mishawaka High School.
And well deserved.
I'm a member of the class of 1995, and I was honored by MHS and Joe Trimboli. I've been contacted by my class and asked to serve on the class of 1995 50th Anniversary Reunion Committee.
Good for you.
How about that?
There's numerous pictures of you and Dick Brainerd, and the one that probably means the most to the people in this room was the one where you and Bob were shaking hands at your retirement.
Yeah, Dick and I had a lot in common because we did so many things together. He came in as an educator in Mishawaka a year before me, but then we went through the next 39 years together and retired the same day. I can remember that early on we socialized together, we raised our kids together, we played on Ross Sports Store's softball and basketball teams together, won city championships together. We went to grad school together. We spent 5 summers at IU together. Got our master's and specialist degrees together, our superintendent's and principal's licenses together. We did so many things together.
Dick was a special person here at Mishawaka, as you were. And Dick's career, can you remember a little of how Dick moved up?
I sure do. He was in central office. Early on, he was elementary and junior high physical education teacher. But then it wasn't long that they moved him up to central office as the director of health, safety, and physical education. And there he shared offices with Dr. Young and Lowell Yaw, and he learned some valuable lessons from them. He absorbed what it takes to be an efficient office manager, and he learned his lessons well. And then he was moved up to business manager, and that's where he kind of completed his on-the-job training. And when it came time, they moved him on up to superintendent. He wanted me to come to central office, and I didn't want to go. I had 3 years to go, and I said, I want to finish him out here. We'd already decided that we were going to retire together.
Oh, nice.
And I wanted to stay here. And he said, you know, when you walk out the door there at Mishawaka, it's going to kill you. And I got to thinking about that. He said, if you come to central office, you can still have your finger in the pie a little bit with the high school and be over here and kind of slowly and gradually remove yourself from the high school. And the more I thought about it, the better it sounded.
What about, I know that the families did a lot of holidays together.
Oh, we did that. We made homemade ice cream together.
We have pictures on the wall of Mishawaka High School with the family photos, so yeah.
7 or 8 years, this was my tenure at the high school when my 2 youngest daughters were 9th graders at Beager, and I had looked forward to that. And once they got there, I was not so sure that I should have looked forward to it. There were a few anxious moments during the time they were there.
You know, one thing that stands out to me about Dad being the principal is now that we're teachers, respected the principal, students respected the principal.
When Dad was there, there was just, you had a presence, and every student felt it. Everyone just held you in such high regard. Our friends, other kids, all the teachers did. That was obvious. And it's still just amazing to me. You didn't miss anything. Whether it was an athletic event, an academic event, a play,
Yeah.
everything at Mishawaka High School.
Well, I think that's because I enjoyed every
I
bit
know
of it.
you didn't miss anything
Yeah.
because, and you loved to see the kids at Mishawaka succeed and do well. I mean, you've always been that way. You still are that way. You still feel that way about Mishawaka.
Yeah.
And
Bob started the Mishawaka High School Scholarship Foundation when he was principal here, and each year our kids get numerous scholarships from that scholarship foundation.
In the early 1970s, when the major industries departed Mishawaka, Uniroyal, Wheelabrator, Dodges, our source of scholarship funding almost totally evaporated. We had practically nothing to give our graduating seniors, and we came up with a plan to use several bequests that we had received as a principal sum and invest that in the local banks, and we would use the earnings of that money to build the fund and to award scholarships. Oh, Brainerd was a fine teacher. Yes, indeed. The kids liked him. He was a Mishawaka boy who had gone through Mishawaka schools, and so he was well known in Mishawaka.
I met Dick Brainerd as a 9-10-year-old softball player in Central Park. Dick was the park director, and we played softball. In around 1950-51, they initiated a baseball league in the parks of Mishawaka. Championship game at Merrifield Park, and came down to the last inning. The score was tied 4-4. Dick, of course, managed both teams. And do you know who the umpire was? Dick Brainerd. Dick, directly or indirectly, played a great role in the lives of the students in the Mishawaka schools. He always seemed to be involved in making their life better in some way. Dick was always thoughtful about the people in the school district, the kids, and he was just a humanitarian at heart. He was an academic, and his nickname was Brain, I think for two reasons. One, it was easy for the guys around him, but secondly, he was very intelligent. He completed his task down to the last detail, and he did a great job as superintendent. Dick was dedicated and involved. We're going to miss him a lot.
Well, I can remember that those were great years, that, because of so many things. I've got all that in my obituary.